Hey guys, welcome back to Vanguard Motor Sales. I'm Greg and I am standing in front of one beautiful 67 Firebird. This baby's got a stroked out 350. It's got some cam in it, beautiful interior. You're gonna love checking it out. So go to our website at vanguardmotorsales.com. We're gonna pop the hood up and take a look at that 350. We're gonna get underneath the car. We're gonna take a look at the interior. We're gonna look inside the trunk. We're gonna show you everything you wanna see so you can make a great decision on your Firebird investment. So come on up and we'll fire it up now. All right, let's take a look at this 67. The chrome on that front bumper looks good. The grill's in great shape. Now this maroon paint is slick as can be. It's got some metallic in it, so it kind of looks like a strawberry red color. One of my favorite colors. That hood's lined up nice and flush, nice and straight. All the emblems look good. The Kragers look popping on this thing. Looks great. The rocker molding looks good. The doors are lined up nice with the front fender. All the stainless here's in good shape. Doors lined up nice here. That line's nice and straight. Door operates nice and smooth. The door jambs are nice and clean. The rubber looks good. The door panel here's in beautiful shape. Great looking, original looking steering wheel, center console. The upholstery on the seats is in great shape. We got seat belts in the front and the rear. Where all the trim back there is painted nicely. The dome light's working. And take a look at that dash. The dash pad's in beautiful shape. All the chrome on the dash and the paint on the dash looks good. The lenses look nice. I love that steering wheel in the car. And look at that quarter panel. See how nice and straight it is? We got great looking chrome here. Tail lights look good. The little Firebird emblem there looks great. I got 4 keys to choose from here, so wish me luck. That's one. Hey, second try. All right, we got a spare tire in here. Looks like it's got a brand new trunk mat in it. We'll pull it back here and take a look. Look at that trunk floor. That wheel well's nice and tight. The floor looks good. The back side of the quarter looks nice. All the gutters here are nicely painted. I see some numbers stamped in here. Looks like it's probably original. All the lips here on the deck lid look good. Spoiler's in beautiful shape. When you look down the side of the car, body man on the car did a great job. It is nice and straight. Got one tiny little dent right there. This door opens up nice and smooth. The rubber looks good there too. All this is all nicely painted. Now at Vanguard Motor Sales, we're not consignment dealers. That means we spend the time to check these cars out before we buy them. Right now we have over 220 cars in stock and we own every one of them. When they get here to the shop, we inspect them so we can answer any question you have. So call Tom at 248-974-9513 and he'll tell you anything about this Firebird you want to see. All right, guys, let's go for a ride in the Firebird. What a beautiful car. And I tell you what, whoever built this motor knew what they were doing because she drives awesome. Lots of power, sounds great. It's got a beautiful paint job. It's a Firebird. This thing is sweet, guys. So give Tom a call at 248-974-9513 and he can tell you just how easy it is to park this dream in your driveway. Now we're right outside the Motor City. It only takes just a little bit to get from the airport to our shop, only 20 minutes. So if you fly in and you want to check out this car, give us a call. We'll come down to the airport and pick you up. If you want to drive in, we're even here on Saturdays. We're here 9 to 3 on Saturday. We'd love to have you come in and check out this car. Now don't forget, we've got 220 cars in stock right now, and we're bringing in 40 new ones every month, so you never know what kind of cool car we'll have next. So give Tom a call at 248-974-9513, and he can enlighten you on all of our new inventory. Now we're going to flip this thing around and head back to the shop. If you need some help with financing, we got that handled for you too. We got 2 bankers we work with that take care of these classic cars. It only takes about a 15-minute phone call to the banker, and this dream will be in your driveway. Excuse my cough. Now look down here on the dash. We got the speedo working. Looks like the gas gauge is working. It's got aftermarket radio in it that is working. We got all the gauges we need down here. That automatic trans is shifting awesome. And look at that hood. Man, look at the paint work out there. What a beautiful car this is, guys. Now we'd love to have you come on in and check out our cars. We don't get to see a lot of our customers because about 90% of the cars go out sight unseen. So if you happen to run into Tom or I at a car show, come on up, say hi. We'd love to meet you. Listen to this thing. Like I said, that Pontiac motor is putting out some horsepower. It's driving nice down the road. I mean, no hands on the wheel, Mom. Look at that, going straight as an arrow. The brakes feel good, and I tell you what, the acceleration feels even better. So give Tom a call at 248-974-9513, and we'll get this dream parked in your driveway right away. Now we're coming up on our shop here. We're at Keel Street in Plymouth, Michigan. We're gonna do something now that you don't often get to see. We're gonna put this car up in the air so you can check out how nice the bottom side is. We're gonna pop the hood, see what's making all the horsepower under the hood. Now here's our shop right here at 15100 Keel Street. We'd love to have you come visit, so give us a call, come on down, check us on Facebook, YouTube, and our website often. Now let's get this thing up in the air.
All right, guys, this is the underside of this 67 Firebird. Unfortunately, Greg actually is not in the shop as of right now, so I'm gonna have to finish this video up for you guys. Underneath here, you can see this gas tank I do not believe to be original to the car. It looks like it's just in too good a shape for that, but it does look like it, well, anyway, it is in good shape. Outside of that, we do have the Pontiac 10-bolt rear end here. You can tell that because it's got the flutes on the cover. And these eyelets here, I'm told are right for this car. They did, if I'm not mistaken, they did put this rear end in this car, so there's a possibility of it being numbers matching. I am seeing a 7 here on the end of this date code, so if it was early 1967, there is a possibility this is the right one for the car, at least the casing, I should say, or the housing. The gear ratio that resides in here is a 350 gear ratio, and it is a Posi-Traction rear end. And with the meats on the back, you're going to need that to hook, especially given what's underneath the hood. It does have an aluminum drive shaft on it. Like I said, I've got one of these in my cars. I had one specially made, and there's a reason for it. Especially when you're starting to kind of put big meats on the back, you need stuff like this. Also considering that the motor makes a little more horsepower than stock, but we're going to get to that in just a second. On either end of the rear axle, we do have drum brakes back there. Our guys take all this stuff apart. We make sure everything is right. Most of us here are pretty much drum brake experts. We deal with this sort of stuff all the time. Flowmaster mufflers here. It's got a dual exhaust. H-pipe up front. Everything looks like it's in really good shape. Looks like it's got the factory routing on it. Floorboards look like they're in pretty darn good shape on this thing. And outside of the floorboards, we do have frame connectors as well. Once again, when we start to get to the kind of performance automobiles, this sort of stuff is definitely necessary. Moving forward of all of that, of course, U-joints, both front and rear, that stuff always gets checked on all of our cars. The frame rails up here look like they're in pretty good shape. Doing the finger test, I don't really feel anything that scares me inside of there. Turbo 350 transmission here. This is a 3-speed automatic. You know, there's a reason that they keep using these things. They're pretty darn tough, and you know what, they're relatively easy to find parts for. Outside of that, this is the underside of what used to be a 350 Pontiac motor, but like I said, we're going to get to that in just a second. The front K member here, I should say the front suspension member here, all that stuff looks like it's in really good shape. Doesn't look like it's too dented up. It might have a little bit of something on it. Maybe someone at one point put a jack on it, but it's not all road rashed up like you often see them. And the rod up here is not that bad either. You often see, you know, a lot of this stuff because it's the low point of the car. Things like the, you know, get up in these holes here and get to just wreak havoc when moisture gets into all of it. All the bushings look like they're in pretty good shape for the front end. give this a good shake, you know, to test our idler arm, and of course all that stuff is good. We check it professionally, and if anything ever does need an alignment here, we've got a digital alignment rack, and we always replace any worn out front suspension components that we find. We do have drum brakes in the front as well on this, and when drum brakes are put together properly, there's nothing wrong with them, and quite frankly, drag racers love drum brakes because, you know what, there's zero resistance on them while it's rolling if they're adjusted properly. Outside of that, we do have, looks like relatively new shocks in here, coilovers in the front, or I should say coil springs in the front. We do have an upgraded sway bar on this thing. This is definitely bigger than stock with the upgraded polyurethane bushings. I can see an aluminum radiator from underneath here. We're going to get to that in just a second. I also see some pretty sweet pulleys on this. Looks like a billet, possibly a March setup. I'm not exactly certain. But also, while I'm under here, I'd also like to point out the tread on this tire looks like it doesn't have anything weird going on with the alignment either, which is also a big positive. So that all being said, let's take a look under the hood, or excuse me, tires. All right guys, wheels and tires on this. We get 215 60 R15s. This is just like a radial tire on this thing. What is it, a Dayton style wheel. And of course we do have the Traeger SS's, very period correct for this car. Let's go check out the rears. All right, in the back, we do have a bit of a performance tire. This is like a drag racing style tire or something a little bit more. Of course, it's streetable, it's DOT approved, but we do have 26 by 10 R15, which means 15-inch wheel. We do have the Traeger SS in the back here as well. Drum brakes already covered that, and if you get a good look at the paint from this side here, you can see that there's it's really good shape. I always give you like the feel behind this wheel lip here, and I don't feel any crustiness going on back there, which is also a big positive. Same thing on this back side here, and in fact, this all feels wonderful back here. Doesn't even feel like there's undercoat on any of it. Very nice stuff. And that all being said, now we can actually go talk about the motor that I'm so excited to tell you guys about. All right guys, under the hood here, this engine right here started life off as a 350, however it is not one anymore. The previous owner said it is a stroker motor, however he didn't give us the actual cubic inch for this thing. So it could be a 383, it could be a 413, who actually knows what it really is. I just know that it runs really well, and it's been known around the shop to actually be a pretty quick little car, and people are kind of chomping at the bit to be able to drive the thing. Outside of that, we do have a upgraded intake on the thing. Looks like a dual plane, like a Performer RPM intake on it. Sitting atop that intake is a Holley 4150 4-barrel carburetor. That thing, if I'm not mistaken, is a 750 CFM model, straight boosters, has an electric choke and vacuum secondaries on it. Outside of that, we do have a nice steel fuel line made for it. It does look like they actually have a fuel filter on it. You heard me mention it underneath. We do have a set of billet pulleys on this thing. All the rubbers look like it's good. Outside of that, when you did hear this car run, you could tell it definitely has a camshaft in it, so definitely we do have other performance modifications other than just the lower end going on here. And of course, you know, more than just the bolt-on stuff, so definitely a built-up motor. We do have the correct master cylinder for what we've got going on underneath this thing. Looks like the brake lines were done relatively recently. Does have power brakes on the thing, does have power steering on this as well. Battery hold down's doing its job. Of course, like I said, we got an aluminum radiator. All the hoses look like they're relatively new. New trans lines, if I didn't mention it underneath. Let's see here, looks like over here, all the paint work continues to go on your inner fender wells all the way down to the radiator support, the core support, if you will. The wiring doesn't look like it's in all too bad a shape. We'll get a look at the ignition for you guys. It does have, looks like an aftermarket ignition in it. It's definitely solid state flamethrower ignition, which if I'm not mistaken is a Petronix HEI unit in this. Does have a set of, looks like Taylor wires in it. I've got Taylor wires on my car. It's all good stuff. Looks like it does indeed have an electric fan, both on the front and back of this radiator. And seeing this little thermostat here, it's more than likely thermostat controlled. You don't have to flip any switches, it just comes on. Of course, they got all the fusing and all the relays here for it properly. Underside of the hood is painted every bit as beautiful as the rest of the car. It does have the, if I'm not mistaken, does indeed have the hood scoops on it. I mean, it's a pretty darn nice car, guys. That all being said, if you'd like to come and have the opportunity to come and drive it, you're probably going to fall in love with it once you do so. And give Tom a call at the number below. Let Vanguard Motor Sales park this monster in your driveway.